Bandito Radio 112 FM, a streaming radio station for all toy enthusiasts, collectors, photographers, and customizers. Built to match your mood and passion. Music from hip-hop to country and all the rock in between, with host Howlin' Jim Jackson. For a dose of the macabre, there's Myra's Morgue of Midnight Madness, featuring old-time radio dramas and Action Figure Frequencies, a radio podcast about all aspects of toys and toy collecting, with your hosts, SKN's own Chet Maddox and Alexander Storm. Bandito Radio 112 FM. Available to stream now on Spotify, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and YouTube.
Well, it is absolutely, positively time for a night of super sexy, and we are here with our friend Richard and Alexander Storm, and we are ready to bring you the absolute best America's Toy Podcast. This is Toy Box Chronicles. We have a great show for you, so we're just gonna jump right into it, and we'll see you in a second. I think our audio visual guy is kind of like messed up. I don't know what he's doing right now. Anyways, again, welcome everyone. I am Chet Maddox, your lovely, gorgeous, sexy host, and Mr. Alexander Storm. How's it thundering over there, sir? What is the weather report, and how are you doing?
Hey, weather is breezing 75 degrees, but of course I've got the thermostat turned up to that, so that's why it's that good.
That's good. That is good. 72 is the optimal temperature for your collectibles. And hey, speaking of collectibles, customizing his life one paintbrush at a time, one action figure after another, Mr. Richard didn't want to have a last name. Gets collectible. What's up, my brother? How you doing?
It's like Madonna, you know, just Richard.
Yeah, just Richard. Got it.
I'm doing great.
Hopefully, you sing is good because you know. Yeah. Look, we got a lot going on today. A lot of announcements. Okay, a lot of news. A lot of toy fantastic, and we want to remind all 70,000 of you watching right now to hit that subscribe button because we know that you watch us, but we also know that you don't follow us, and that's fine. It's totally fine, but you should probably do it because we're paying for it this month. So, Mr. Storm,
yes, sir.
You look like you have a lot to say.
Well, you know, as usual, everything is going on as it should be in the world of toys, and we're kind of glad that it is happening. But you know, we move into some very interesting scenarios right here, and this is something that I will admit that I did not in any way, shape, or form think was going to happen. But Leokaiser actually funded, and it funded in a record time. Look, I didn't even know who this character was, and actually, like I said, you know, Rich and I was talking about this before the cast went on. We had been doing a little research on it, and I didn't even know who this character was. So first, when I saw it, I was like, you know, it might make it, but you know, there's no way or no form that it's gonna go through. Then it goes in like record time, I think 5 or 6 days into it. And I'm like, what is going on with this?
Yeah, super
And then
quick.
Richard, you can let us know your thoughts on it and what research you did to find out who Leokaiser actually is.
Yeah, so I did once you sent me the notes of what we were going to talk about today. I like looking at it. We had discussed it probably a couple of programs ago, and I'd never heard of the character, and I was like, it looks kind of cheapish to me. Really,
Yeah.
like I wasn't impressed by the look of it or anything.
Mhm.
But once we knew we were going to discuss it, I just kind of jumped onto a bunch of I have a bunch of buddies that are really into Transformers. So I talked to them, and then I started hitting the Transformer, like all the news groups and stuff. And everybody, like, apparently this was a very rare figure that came out, and I believe it was '89, and it's like super popular and rare. What year was it? Actually, I get. It was super popular and rare. So like anybody that was a fan, so it was after Transformers left the normal airwaves, they went to what I think there was Headmasters,
Yeah.
which was more of an anime style Transformers, and there was another one, and then there was the one that this character came from, and
The Combiner Wars.
it was yeah, and it amongst, and that's the thing is combiners have such a huge following that, and this is one of the ones that was more rare. And when you look up the actual from the cartoon, he was actually really cool. He's actually really cool, and so many people reading all the message boards and everything. A lot of people were really stoked about this. So I guess he is one of the most sought after and rare combiners there is out there. So
yeah, it kind of threw me for a loop, man, because at first when I saw this, it's like the neon colors and everything else. I was like, and like you were saying, I thought it did look a little cheap in the beginning. I was like, this is a HasLab. I was like, okay, and again, they had just I think several fan streams. They started the new Devastator that they did, and I'm like, well, if anything made sense for it to be a HasLab, I thought they would just done Devastator. But when Leokaiser came up, I'm like, there's no way this thing's funding. It's like, it's probably be on the back end. And then it just went like that. And I was like, uh-oh. Like,
yeah,
this
a
is
lot of it I think has to do with, okay, so it came out in '89, and he was part of Transformers Victory. And Transformers Victory is officially the end of the G1. So I think that's where the rarity and popularity of the figure comes from. But like as I look for as from the animation cells and everything that I'm seeing, he's very Voltron-ish in the cartoon. Yeah. So I think, I mean, for people that are really into it, like they're excited. So I'm excited for them. I'm not a huge Transformers following. I was mostly original G1. I was always into the Joes. So but in talking to so many of my friends, everybody's really, really stoked about this. And I know at least 10 people that have backed this. And almost all of them got more than one.
Wow. Okay. Well, again, this is one we talked about this a while ago in a couple of Toy Box Chronicles in season 1. But like, are we in every possible way sleeping on Transformers? And I think from this, I think there's a definite yes, we are sleeping on the Transformers line, because it seems like, they look, from everything that they're doing, they're just hitting the box, and they're silently doing it, because the Transformer fans aren't as vocal as let's say the G.I. Joe and Marvel Legends.
Yeah.
So when something slides in for that, and it's like the line has been hitting, and I think one of the main things, we'll pull this up right now, and we'll just go into the Leokaiser. Now, one thing that Chet pointed out, which was this was one of the lowest HasLabs that he had seen in a while, the threshold in order to get it done, because we're normally seeing things a little higher, right, Chet?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of crazy because it's not as costly as they were prior. And then also the other thing that I find weird is if you look at if you look at Hasbro's website right now, they also have pre-orders for 2 other Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
And where this one is $299, they have the Nucleon Quest Super Convoy Transformer.
Mm-hmm.
And that one is like a pre-order, so that's like a build to order, right? But it's it's $264. So, but that's like a
that's the shattered glass version of Optimus one.
it basically
black and purple or whatever.
Yeah, it looks a little bit like him. And then they also have the Monster Hunter, the Silver Prime.
Mm-hmm.
He's 54. So like right now, like if you're a Transformer head, like you're throwing down a lot of money between the HasLab and then these pre-orders. Fortunately, the HasLab, you're not going to be charged until it ships, which is fantastic because then you have it in your cart, you know. And I'll be honest with you, this is one that I hit pre-order on because I am a big fan of the combiners. Like I love combiners, and I still to this day want to get a. I used to have a G1 Devastator. I don't have it anymore. I don't like the remakes. I'm into them. But this, yeah, you know.
Hey, I know a guy.
I know you know a guy. Yeah, I'm cool with this. I think it's really cool. I think that this is a sign that what's up, Moocher? This is a sign that at least a Transformer team, I say at Hasbro right now, releasing this. Someone is watching what the fans are saying on Reddit and a bunch of other places, which I think is phenomenal. I think it's great. And you know, at first I was kind of like, I don't know what I think about this, and then I realized like what it actually was and when it came out and where, and I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm gonna need this.
Yeah, I think the launch pictures didn't do it any justice.
No.
As I'm seeing more detailed pictures of it now, it's actually really cool. And like I said, to me, it reminds me a lot of Voltron. It has that similarity, and it actually, like I said, it looks pretty awesome. And Transformers, I mean, just in general, they're doing some really amazing stuff, kind of low key. Like there's a line that I wasn't familiar with at all, that's out there that actually has been out for a little while called Missing Link.
Yeah, I've seen that Link once.
And I mean, basically, it's what if G1, like literally, it's made off of the molds of the original G1 or the 40th anniversary reissues, but they're fully articulated. So it's like, what if your G1 Optimus Prime, looking exactly like the one you played with as a kid, was able to actually move? Like these things, I mean, they're kind of pricey. You know, they're averaging, I think Prime is about $100. You know, but these things look amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just to let it know in the chat and everything, Mucha said he came in late. Rad says your friendly reminder: the HasLab Engines of Vengeance wasn't funded, but this it did, and he's got a point right there. And Mr. Scott Solo, Darth Moocher and Scott Souls, right after us on the Starlight Digest, says this is where the fun begins. Yes, it is. It is starting to get there.
Yeah. I think I want to point out too, you said something which kind of leads us into the next thing. Like we talked about whether or not this was going to be cheesy or if it was going to be made bad, but I think they really saved themselves with the tiers that you unlock. I think they really, I mean, I didn't think that they could do any worse than patches for the.
Also, just a friendly reminder, too, that the crowdfunded project runs from February 7th to March 24th, and it needed 10,000. It exceeded 10,000 and still rising. But, yeah, this was, like Chet said, this was probably, and hands down, I'll say this, this was the worst tier system I have ever seen in any form of the Transformers or any other HasLab they've ever done. Because at least with the Engine of Vengeance, you know, they were giving us, you know, Robbie Reyes, they were giving us Mephisto, they were giving us a couple of characters, the Goblin Queen. There was a couple of characters that were at least given out. We're like, okay, these were things we wanted. Now, you know, Death Cobra, okay, yeah, you know, I can give you that. The nunchucky accessory, oh no, no, not
that should have just come with it.
And then the
should have came with a damn stand.
Yeah, I'm excited about what Rad said. Unlocking, you get an exclusive Pog. I'm into that. You know what's crazy about this stand? You I think I think they will give you a cardboard backdrop though, Solo. You know what's crazy about this stand is Unicron actually was I think that was the first Transformer they did, and the third party market is really big on printing stands for Unicron. So this is like, hey, if you could take this picture of this stand and scan it into this AI system, and it'll print out the 3D file, so you could just print this yourself. You don't have to worry about it. That's what I'm saying.
And then Rad
And
goes,
people have
paperclip.
already made better stands.
Yeah, he goes, paperclip accessories underrated, and that's exactly what that looked like. You know, he hit that right on the head. Commander Blythe's chiming in. Commander, I had no idea that this character was until Michael Mercer did a Japanese Transformer video a few days ago. Oh, okay, all right, yeah. And then Dr. Brentley's chiming in, and do you understand how expensive and difficult it is to make any tiny non-Joko accessory? Well, obviously, they definitely went for the ball here. Look, this is. I understand if somebody wanted these 100% fine, but and Def Cobra, okay, but the other two are by hands down. When people were seeing those patches, they were bitching and crying. In no way, shape, or form should anybody cry about that till you see that this is ridiculous. But again, you're getting a bunch of combiners, you're getting an extra one that's showing up and everything. So, maybe they've already hit their points and said, look, everything else is we're just giving you crap at the end.
From what I've noticed, to all my hardcore Transformer fans that I know, and most of them are really diehard combiner fans. Combiner fans are just combiner fans. They're just a different level. They're really into their combiners, and honestly, I don't think the extras matter to them.
Yeah, true. And Scott Solo points out that we'll say Tashi, station employment for all your figure standees. You're damn right and everything, because at this rate and everything, they could have left the last one off.
But then he realized he spelled it wrong.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. Yeah. Then Dr. Brentley, and it won't stand up unless 16,000 people back it.
At Tashi Station, you get one of these nice stands right here.
I know. And at least they could give us, like I said, again, the backdrop or something else like that. Display stand Transformers into iPhone stands. Look, there's no possible way that the stand should have been just given. You don't even need to say at this amount of money or everything else like that. Come on.
I'm betting in the development meeting someone said that as a joke.
Yeah. Oh, and I've had that happen too, Scott. So, but yeah, no. I can tell you from every point, this was, that to me, I'm not sitting around. Def Cobra maybe, and I can see people like, oh, okay, an extra combiner, yeah, that's cool. After that, man, you just got one. People just want the actual Transformer itself.
Well, that's why they put it as the first unlock.
Yeah. Well, you have to at least they're doing that, because can you imagine if they would have done the nunchucky display stand and then Def Cobra? Oh my God, there would have been it would have made the Maximum Spider-Man scenario look like nothing.
Well, the guy that did the patches for the Rattler got fired. So the dude that did the stand was like, no, this shit's gonna be at the end.
Yeah. He was like, let me smarten this up.
Yeah.
Let me not give the crappiest stuff first. Now, if they want that later on, the guy's like, how are you going to stand up your Transformers, everything? They didn't know that you get a Tashi Station Emporium stand to do that. And Rad's mentioned right here, anybody have any idea for the tier unlocks? What's in the fodder bin?
What's in the fodder bin? Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a point about that. So now, again, while we're saying that we're sleeping on the Transformers, there's a couple of key things that we're not. And we're seeing that this one, while we totally dropped the ball on Leokaiser, our money and our bucks has been spent with some Transformers secretly that we didn't understand what's going on. So let me explain what's going on. Transformer is probably one of the better lines that's done an excellent job when it comes to collaborations. and they've steadily, sneakily got this in to there's more collabs coming out that you really just don't understand, and they're hitting across the line. It's kind of like the same way Chet and I we always talk about Legos. If there's one company that says we can take any IP and we can do it across multiple platforms, it's Lego. Lego does that better than I think anyone else, but Transformers is secretly doing here. On the screen right now, we've got the Transformers G.I. Joe collabs that's been hitting. That Megatron one is really extremely hard to find. I know that the Thunder Machine version of the Dreadlock and Soundwave, that one was hitting in some of the discount areas of Ross and Ollie's and everything. I've seen that. Along with that Jurassic, we don't have an image of it, but Jurassic Park was there. And let's say I have no idea who the heck this guy is. Regret not buying Unicron, but there is no regrets with this. Yeah, and actually, Chet has that same regret that Scott. He has that same regret because no one thought Unicron was going to be as huge as it is, and it is, you know.
Yeah.
But then you're looking at, so we got a couple of these. We got a couple more that's been
That
going in.
that Megatron, real quick though, I just want to preface how hard that is to find.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Mhm.
Like
That that was the second one that came out, right? That's the His Tank one.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mhm.
And the first one was Bumblebee as Striker or the Off Striker.
Yeah.
So
And now, does
so the
anybody
first
know
two
what the price is running for on the Megatron?
currently,
Yeah.
I don't even know. They're pretty hard to find.
Yeah. Because I haven't seen them in the secondary market
Well,
for a very long
actually, if
time.
you want it, it's $45, and they have it in stock on Big Bad Toy Store, so it's not
Oh,
There
hard
it
yeah.
is.
anymore.
Right over the
The,
Big Bad Toy Store.
the thing about the first two that came in, which is the Bumblebee and the Megatron, is they look really good
hmm
in the vehicle mode.
hmm
And in robot mode, they're and very hard to transform. Now they've improved as they've gone on, but like that Bumblebee Striker was just not done very well. Now the newer ones are amazing.
hmm Yeah.
The Triple T is awesome. Like they I think they are learning from their
hmm
from what they put out, and they definitely listen to their fans. So I
Well,
mean, all the power to them. And the figures that come with them are pretty awesome too.
and when they say that we don't do O-rings anymore, you guys are doing great O-rings. And every time you do one of these, or like the Sky Striker that came through the
Yeah,
HasLab, they're doing great like O-rings. And you know, like I think they should do a little bit more of a revival of that instead of passing that on to Super 7. But yeah,
well, they have all the original molds from their old stuff because they did the re-releases of
cool.
Duke and Cobra Commander, Snake Eyes, and Storm Shadow
Yeah,
in like they're exact copies of the original, same cards and everything.
yeah,
They could put out the original O-ring figures,
yeah.
repaint,
Well,
paint them up a little bit. You could sharpen up some of the details on it. People
yeah.
would eat them up.
Well, I know I ordered the Triple T with Leatherneck and Sergeant Slaughter, and that was those O-ring characters exceeded my
Oh, yeah.
expectations on it. And you know, Stalker and everything, but we've seen a couple of Stalkers
Yeah.
and the 3/4 line, so that it looked like they just basically used another version. But that Sergeant Slaughter looked and the Leatherneck looked really updated compared to you know, I've seen the Zartan and the Zorana and the Baroness. It seems like those weren't like newer molds; they just went back to an older mold to use. But the
Yeah.
Sergeant Slaughter, they really did a nice job on that character. And then from there, we're jumping through with the one where this was look, I saw the Agent Knight version, which is Transformers, and Knight Rider version, and it like, you know, I'm a huge Knight Rider fan, so I was like, yeah, I'm buying this. And it was one of those ones where I was like, I don't care how much it costs, I'm getting it. And just to let you know, it's sitting right here on my desk. But the talking mode and everything in this makes this worth the price of admissions. You want to definitely go ahead and purchase this. The Transformer aspect, he's okay, you know, but I just love the car look. The lights come up and down. The Larson beam in the front actually works. And then I know I ordered this. I believe Chet, you ordered this as well. Was the Godzilla Transformer. Technically, it's like Grimlock, but technically it's Godzilla collab that's coming at the end of the year.
Yeah.
You're
That one is so close to
yeah.
yeah. Yes, I did, sir.
Yes, and there's a couple of fire features and things that they did. I love the translucent blue flame on the back of his neck and everything. Like they've really done a better job. So, like I said again, when we're saying, hey, we're not Transformer fans. Yeah, we are Transformer fans. Secretly, actually, they have been getting us to buy more and more Transformers, and we just almost didn't realize this.
Well, yeah, even before these collaborations, I mean, they did Echo One or Ecto One.
Mhm.
They did the car from Back to the Future. I mean, they've had some collabs that people have eaten up throughout the years that were just kind of under the radar before, and they're becoming more and more popular.
Mhm. Yeah, I will say sneakily, the Transformer team is probably one of the most successful teams that we just haven't realized. Because, like, again, the Leokaiser thing hit me right out of the bat, and it wasn't something as huge as, like I said, like Unicron. Because when you saw Unicron, you're like, oh yeah, this thing is gonna fun because it was one of the largest Transformers I've ever seen. Other than
Yeah.
that, I think there's a import of the what is it,
Metroplex.
megaplex that I keep seeing that's like damn near the size of a child.
It's there's one. It's like I believe it's like 4.5 feet tall.
It's huge.
And there's another. Actually, I've seen it on like TikTok or something. Someone made one that's actually over 6 feet tall.
Wow. Yeah, shipping on that's probably a real bitch.
Yeah.
But that's hits us in our Transformer conversation. So gentlemen, do you also Dr. Brentley did say this too, so we'll put this up on the screen. Yeah, they also did the Star Wars Naboo Starfighter with the Transformer. I just remember that. Yeah.
There was they did a few different collabs that were Star Wars because they did one that turned into, I know they did one that turned into Darth Vader, one that turned into Boba Fett, one that turned into General Grievous. So yeah, there was quite a few. Actually, I own a few of them.
Yeah, you secretly
somewhere around here.
You don't know how many that you own actually, because it creeps up onto you like, well, wait a minute, actually, I do own a lot more Transformers than that.
I have the Ninja Turtle van, and I have the Ecto One.
Yeah, yeah. And Commander Bly had those Star Wars Transformers. They kind of suck.
They look great in the box though.
Always Commander Bly for the truth. If you ever want to know it, ask him.
Hey, as long as that guy's awake, he's gold,
He is. But this leads us to this other thing that we saw is that with the whole Marvel and Hasbro and situations, the turnaround that they've been kind of doing lately. Hasbro has been, and I would say like we're already in the second month of the year, but like how many damn fan streams can these guys keep pumping out? Because they are notoriously hitting fan streams now. And this week it was supposed to be the GI Joe fan stream. They pushed that out to March the 18th, but on February 20th, that's tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern time, it's the Marvel Legends series version. Now, my thoughts on this is there was such controversy over the last, and I don't even know why this is controversy, to be honest with you. But over the Maximum Spider-Man, I don't think this is necessarily them dropping a whole nother wave of figures. I think this is an opportunity for them to show people what the Maximum Spider-Man and like the actual posability and everything is. I think this is one where they're trying to get some of this negative feedback that they've been getting through YouTube and Instagram and X. Maybe this is a way of like maybe squashing a little of that. What do you guys think?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's really what it is. It's reaching out and them either pretending that they care about their fans' opinions and what they have to say, or maybe they're actually starting to listen. I mean, who knows? And it's a good way to get to introduce projects or project ideas.
Chet?
So a couple of things about how many fan streams they're having, just from my brain.
Hmm.
So I think that if you remember, they talked about like there was this like talk over um like road mapping and whether or not they were going to do that, and then was it specific for Star Wars, was it for everything, was it for this, was it for that? And I think this GI Joe move, obviously someone posted something wrong, but really realistically, if you think about it, this Transformer thing ends in 33 days. So
Yeah.
from today, that is March 24th.
Hmm.
So March 18th is enough time to announce something that is going to go up on the 24th, I think. And I don't think that see, because you have a bunch of different people that are that back things for HasLabs.
Sure.
And so I think that we'll either see what they're going to do as a HasLab for GI Joe, or they're going to like sprinkle some things in as to what it could possibly be. My biggest issue with the fan streams is I wish they would get better hosts.
Yeah.
Like if they would just reach out to some weird podcast that's live on Wednesdays, you know. I think
That could
I
be
think
a number of podcasts, man.
yeah, it's at 7 o'clock, you know, for the Legends ones, and then at 8 o'clock for the Star Wars ones. I think they probably do pretty good.
But it's Hasbro. Can they afford that crew?
No,
Yeah, no.
I mean you could if you were going to give me Legends. I'm there for free. But if you're gonna, yeah, no. So I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll
no.
see.
I would need the cold hard cash, bro. You can't pay me in figures. It's not gonna work. Yeah, you know what? I think it boils down to like one. There's a couple of fan kind of scenarios with the GI Joe one that it's gonna be. It's not gonna be in HasLab, but it's gonna be like a vehicle. Maybe they're dropping a vehicle that they, it's probably within the $99 to $120 wave kind of things that they've been doing, like with the Vamp and the Stinger and things like that. So they're probably going to drop that down. I think the Leokaiser kind of thing, you're right. I think that they looked at that and said, can we drop another big item down within a certain amount of time? Let's give it a little spacing. The Marvel Legends ones, I don't think there's going to be another wave that they're dropping. Now, I could be wrong because, again, here, we can call them as we see them, but I just think this is a way of getting, I think, Maximum Spider-Man out, showing them, putting them in some poses, and them like kind of like talking it up and trying to make people think, even though he sold out, because again, he sold out pretty quickly. I think it's just a point of just saying, let's get rid of some of this bad negative feedback of what people were saying about that,
Yeah.
So, it's interesting enough. And then I think with the GI Joe fan stream, well, look, they dropped a couple of things. They've got the mass device Snake Eyes with the polar bear that they're going to drop at one point or another. That's a pretty big item. And then they've got a couple of the legacy kind of things, the firefighter situations like that. So I think they're going to drop a bunch of figures. And I don't know if we're gonna I think we'll get one or two, like, maybe render designs, but I think this is a way for them to, Chet was saying, to just drop a bunch of figures and maybe possibly drop a vehicle, and then they've got their money from the actual HasLab that kind of went out of the way, and they're like, okay, next, because we've seen this before. They do the fan stream, they're like, next week, it goes down on like a Wednesday. So it is just at that point where the actual HasLab has ended, and you should have more money to spend on stuff. So, and Commander Bly actually did say that didn't Spidey sell out 2 or 3 times? It's like he keeps the last time I saw it up online was over at GameStop. But like GameStop was the only person that, because like that Amazon link, it seemed like it popped up and instantaneously that thing was over with. So,
Yeah.
and it on Hasbro Pulse, it did extremely well. And then about half a day to a day later, Big Bad and then Entertainment Earth all started to sell out of those. So, but GameStop, I don't know if it's still available on GameStop, but GameStop was the last place I saw that they had readily they were taking orders from. But that's what I'm thinking that this whole another fan stream is. It's just a way of them saying, hey, you know what? we've we want to show you what Spidey looks like. We want to we want to control the narrative because I think the narrative has gotten to be extremely bad for them when it comes to the people that's supposed to be the happiest the most about this, because I don't think they thought that this was going to end up like this with the conversation and the discussions that people been having. I thought they would be like, wow. And personally myself, I
It
also
really shouldn't
thought
be that way.
I thought it went sideways real quick when it came down to that. What do you think, Chet?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of backlash on this figure. Look, I understand it. Everyone knows how to do it better than the people that have been doing it for years, and they can all make better molds, and they all release things that are better that don't need updating. And everyone likes being a couch quarterback, and everybody thinks that they know best and what should be better. And I'm a customizer with 300,000 subs, so I know how to make action figures better. But if you look at my YouTube videos, you can see if you look at my YouTube videos, you can see that I never actually was able to release my own action figures. It's like you just have a lot of people just like, look, this is the best part, right? And here's the official stance of Toy Box Chronicles and SKN that if you don't like it, just don't buy it. It's that simple. Don't go around screwing it up for everyone else, talking like you know how to do action figures better than Hasbro. Shut the hell up. You don't. Including people that are talking about it that have made action figures. You don't make action figures better than Hasbro. You haven't been. Okay. It's so cool. If you don't like it, you don't like it. That's good. That's fantastic. But my personal take on this is that this is the first of many. It's all new tooling. It's not the same thing. It's not a remake. It's not anything. It's all new tooling. You could get nitpicky and you could say, oh, well, the head is too small and it's not exactly like Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man because the eyes are too far separated and it doesn't have the web all the way in the middle of the eyes. All the like BS crap people were saying. You could say that, or you could look at it from this point of view. See, Marvel doesn't, Hasbro and Marvel Legends don't have a problem getting licensing to make any figures at all, period. They don't. They have the licensing. They could do whatever they want, right? Now, if this Spider-Man has just as much, if not more, articulation and is a better build than Mafex figures, you're going to have to realize that is going to force Mafex to drop their pricing. And it will, because you get the same amount of stuff as this Maximum Spider-Man, and I could go get my black suit Spider-Man that's a Mafex. It has the same amount of accessories as this Spider-Man does, except for the black suit Spider-Man is like, I think like 4 times as much, but because it's not an import, no one wants to jump on the bandwagon, and everybody's being a yes man, yes girl over this thing. And it's like, look, no one, look, you can't, I don't even know if I like it. I don't even know if I'm going to like it. I know I want it. I know I'm not going to try to buy it on the second market.
Yeah.
Right. That ain't going to happen. And it's like CS, the director said, there is a high probability that GameStop's pre-orders will get canceled and won't ship because it's happened to me multiple times.
Wondering what that was saying, but when I was wondering what GS meant. Now it just now.
Yeah, it's because GameStop likes to just leave pre-orders up like they're going to get more than Hasbro.
Okay.
So, but the advantage is that sometimes you get lucky and sometimes you don't. So realistically, all you're doing is putting your name in for a bid, and whether or not they get ship it or not, whatever. But here's what's going to happen. Okay, everyone is like, oh well, the pictures that they posted, there's paint problems. This, that. It's like, yes. Also, you realize that's not a final product, right?
Yeah.
Like we can all agree on this. Like that's not the final product. That's the sample. That's the do you approve? What do we need to adjust? We've got to get pictures of this because we're announcing it. Let's take pictures product. Yeah, that's not the one that's shipping. And when it does come out and everyone's like, oh, this is the definitive Spider-Man figure, right? Or not, maybe it's not, but when it does, now the open market on that thing, Dr. Brentley's Collectibles on eBay, you're going to have to pay him handsomely to get one because he decided whether or not I like it or not, I'm buying extra because people are going to bitch and then want it.
Yeah. And I think Darth Moocher brings up a point here. Yeah, people are acting like the Maximum Spider-Man is replacing Legends. It's not. They just wanted to get to a different tier. I can understand that from a business model. Again, we will explain this. Maybe it's just not known fact, but they are a major corporate entity. They are publicly traded. And that means every quarter they have to make a profit for their shareholders, or if somebody wants to sue them, or there's a takeover situation happen. It's not like from the kindness of their hearts, they're just like, let's just jock these figures up and everything.
Yeah.
No, they've got to do that pricing and everything. That's just what quarters are called. And don't worry, every corporation around America does it. You maybe don't understand when you go into McDonald's and they had that $5 menu, and then all of a sudden you turn around and it's like $18 for a damn Big Mac. They do it as much as possible. Commander Belai says, funny, some people don't like the exact same things I like. It's almost like we're completely different people.
Almost.
Exactly.
It's almost like you are. Yeah.
And
It's crazy if you look, and I think what a lot of people aren't doing is actually looking at the possibilities of this figure. They're not really looking at the way that Hasbro has. They've taken certain things like the butterfly joints. A lot of companies have used it. G.I. Joe's used it. There a lot of lines have used it. Mattel's used it for wrestling figures. And usually when you use the butterfly joints for the shoulders, they have these weird trapezius. Like their shoulder areas are always bulky and just unnatural. If you look how sleek this Spider-Man is, it's amazing that they've done it. And they've changed the way that the tooling on the butterfly joint is. So they've advanced something that even Mafex doesn't do. And then they also have a drop hit that more than, like, when you get an average drop hit, it just literally, it splits where the legs come in, and it just kind of splits it like this. These actually rotate quite a bit. So they've done tooling that no other company has done. So the advancements are there.
I was going to ask you about that.
Looking at the model.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that as a customizer, right? Because I was watching this video from this customizer talking about that, and all he focused on was how crappy the hips look and how like underbuilt like Spider-Man looks, and that he can tell that they reuse tooling from like a shittier version of Spider-Man later on. And I'm like, that.
You're also looking at a product sample. You can see now the hips that they have, or the legs, the upper thighs that they have on the product sample right now, it doesn't fit exact, but I guarantee you it's because they matched it together for a picture. It's not the final product, like you said. But when you're looking at the possibility of the rotation of the hips, where the angles you can move the legs, it's more like the body movement on this is more natural. It's more like a human body can move. Just the advancement in the tooling. And anybody that, especially if they call themselves a customizer and they notice that and they don't appreciate that, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, they call themselves a customizer for sure.
Dead Man says, what's up, fellas? Dead Man, what's going on, brother? And Commander Bly, actually, this one had me cracked up and shit. I don't know, Alex. This sounds exactly like something the Shield would say. Well, let's put it like this. I'm 100% on it. And everybody, I've heard them say this for some other tubers out there, and they're saying the Shields and everything. Look, just because you don't like it doesn't mean that, because I can tell you right damn straight now, we're not getting any of that Hasbro money. But if I was getting that Hasbro money, you ain't seen the shilling that I would do.
I am a shameless shill. Let's put it that way.
Dead Man always marked on the point on this. All this is yet to be seen. Nobody has it in hand. And
exactly.
That's why I think they're doing the February 20th fan stream, is because people don't have that in. And then sees the director says Amazon also likes delaying, or they do, to prioritize scalper prices. They did this to me with the BB and SS Megatron until I randomly found out that GameStop, then Target will release it weeks before pre-orders, and it's a mess. Look, I will tell you this, and he's the director's right, is that all these other retailers are, I don't know what game they're playing and pitting between one another, but the Amazons and the GameStops and the Target thing is, when people say what's really kind of hurting toy collecting, it's getting them at retail. Because the retail is changing the way, like, we used to just go down to retail, pick something off the shelf. And we got a video up on the site over here that I remember Chet went into a Georgia-based store to pick up a card-backed version of something, and it was on the shelf, and they gave him nothing but crap at one location. And then you went to another Target, and the manager was on another shelf, so they're putting them out before street dates. And another manager actually, handled the situation, and it's a mess because
And
what do we always say
we're
about
not
the
saying
customer?
it was Target, by the way. We're just saying that it could have been something like Target.
Yeah, well, Target or whoever.
A company,
Yeah.
a company called Bullseye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a little dog. Yeah.
But the thing was, isn't the customer always right? So, like, why are you street dating something and you're putting it out, yet you're telling somebody, "Oh no, it's not there,"
Well, it's also
And
it's also shady because that was the whole thing. Like they looked it up
yeah,
and said, and it was the card back version of I don't remember. It was like Venom or something like
yeah,
that.
I'll tell you from somebody that knows a lot of people in retail. I'll tell you exactly what it is. What it is they'll get a case, they'll open it up, they'll put it out before the street release. So when they scan it, it will tell them in the register, and whoever's checking it out
Not
will go,
available for
"Hey,
sale."
this is it's not available. It's not supposed to be out there." I
Yeah.
don't know how this got out. What happened is somebody that had override powers
mhm.
in the register had somebody who was a friend who was paying them come in and check out. So the rest of them just happened to get stocked because
Wow.
Yep.
their friend bought so many before they were supposed to be. And that's how so many people that go to third party, like when you go to like Frank and Sons or something like that, and you have these sellers like, these aren't even released yet. How do you have this? That's how they get them.
Well, yeah, and the
Ah,
guy, the manager I ran into at the second one, saw that I had another legend in my hand. He's like, "Well, just ring that one up twice and take it."
Yep.
And I was like, "Okay." So
well,
I did, and I took it, and I have it. I still haven't opened it. So
yeah.
Yeah, they do that. They do that a lot, and it's that hurts. And then amongst you also have the other thing that's really killing the toy industry is figure swappers, and
Yeah.
how easily they take these things back. And you'll see that it's not even the figure you're supposed to get, and all they do is discount it by $5. Like it's not even close.
Yeah. Yeah, I had that happen to somebody that purchased Copperhead for me way back, and it was like, and this was when I wasn't opening up anything, and I remember like Check got on me and says, "Hey man, you need to open this stuff up," and I happened to open it up, and it was a completely different. It wasn't even the same character, but it like I had that figure for like 3 months, and that's why when the plastic free packaging, that
Yeah.
was just an absolute mess and everything. And we have a
Yeah, that
couple.
actually happened to a buddy of mine where his wife had bought him a GI Joe figure on for Christmas,
Yeah.
and it was a Kumakora, and he got it
Oh,
for Christmas,
yeah.
and actually it was Mike the Hunter, so he
Oh,
got it
okay.
for
Yeah, Mike.
Christmas,
Mhm.
and had been filming his videos and stuff, hadn't opened it. Probably
Yeah.
about 3 or 4 months later, he opened it, and it was a salt shaker in there.
Oh my God. Yeah, that would like yeah, there's nothing more than that. And actually, Commander Bly, let's get to statement. We have a couple of big box retailers in the area that sell to the scalpers. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
that's definitely what's happening. hmm And see, the director actually is tough being a collector, especially with the scalpers. People are still swapping and with no shame. And you know what? But it's also see it's not just the people swapping at retail. You're walking right in, you're returning an item, and especially if it's something with like, that's like, it's a plastic, non-plastic free, you can see what's in there. They're accepting that stuff, and then they're just marking it down and putting it back on the shelf. So there's a little bit of culpability with the retailer here too, because look,
well,
yeah, you
they
got, but
that's because you have people in the returns department that don't know what they're getting back. And they
exactly.
don't care because the store gets credit from the manufacturer, and that's
Yeah,
why they put it out at a reduced price. They don't care if they sell it; it's all profit to the store because
true.
they've already been credited by the manufacturer. Because technically, they're supposed to destroy them. They're supposed to send them out to be destroyed, and they
Mhm.
just put it on the shelf for cheaper cost.
Yeah.
yeah.
Dr. Burnley wants to point out, but was it a mint and box salt shaker?
Yeah.
And then
It was,
the
it
character
was.
blind chimed in. What kind of articulation did the salt shaker have? So, there's a difference. There's a way of doing something where you make it like you turn salt. I ended up what I did with it is we have another customizer that we know, and I ended up giving that figure to him because I was like, look, man, just customize it, do something with it. It's like I took a loss on it. you transform it into something else. And I think sometimes that's the best way that you can get away with that from that many months ago. It was one of those things where it was a gift to me. It sucked, but I'm sure it got repurposed into something else. So if there's
I've had where I intentionally bought some figures that were swapped because whoever did it is obviously just someone that likes they're wrestling figures. So they either liked certain wrestlers or whatever it was. They swap heads and accessories. And I've had it where someone put a $40 head on a figure and returned it, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to go ahead and buy this for $15." Because in the third in the market out there, secondary market, this thing's going for $40. Like,
so somebody didn't know they were paying it for it.
Yeah, they accidentally did it.
That's karma already reiterated. Commander Blythe said, when I worked at Toys R Us, oh, Commander Blythe, don't worry, Dr. Brittley also was a Toys R Us worker. We had meetings about the scalpers. We all knew who they were. The scalpers would target new employees to get them to bring fresh cases out the back. Yeah, anytime that I go through to a big box store, and there's always that one guy, and I think everyone's seen that, where he's like screaming at the employee, well, what do you mean? Just go in the back and check it out. And you could tell that that's just not a regular fan. That's a guy that needs like 10 of them from the box and everything because he used to resell.
And I'll tell you, well, it may be Pokemon scalpers may be up there now. They may be the top tier. But in all my experience in selling toys, the worst of the worst are the Hot Wheels collectors, man.
Yes,
Really?
they are. Yeah,
they are horrible.
Who would know that? So Pokemon, Hot Wheels, and
Pokemon is horrible now. They're like, you can if you look on TikTok, you'll see them bringing out boxing. Costco's going to stop carrying Pokemon cards because the sets have turned into full-on riots in their stores.
Yeah, I think this last set is the last one they're doing.
Yeah, and that's why Target stopped carrying them.
Yeah.
They carry them, but they're no longer like. It's now like remember back in the day when you would buy a bike from Toys R Us, you'd get the tag. That's how you get Pokemon cards now at big box stores, and you're only allowed, I think, 3 maximum.
So we've gotten to this point where it's Stanley Cups and now Pokemon cards that people are like beating the hell out of online for what's going on. What is going on? And Hot Wheels, mind you. There's look, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I want to go down to a big box store. I want to see some guys in the Hot Wheel aisle just beating the hell out of one another.
I've been in a Target where there were 2 grown ass men fighting over Hot Wheels because some dude found a red line that he wanted, and I was like, you guys realize this like 5-year-old is staring at you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've been in stores where, I mean, the funniest thing is because these are basically worthless now. When when episode 1 figures first came out at Toys R Us, they had the midnight release.
Yeah.
I was at the Toys R Us that used to be in San Bernardino, and that turned into full-on riot. Like, they were brawling, and I'm saying they because I may or may not have thrown a few people around and thrown a few punches. And the funny thing is, those figures are freaking pretty much worthless now.
Well, somebody is not. Somebody probably had some reconstruction surgery due to that. Who else excited for the Age of Extinction Optimus Prime Studio Series and the re-release of the Squadron 8 Skywarp 4 pack? Actually, no, the Age of Extinction Optimus Prime I did see.
I'm excited. I'm excited for both of those, to be honest.
Yeah.
I do like the Studio series. I think it's good. I also like the
Studio series has been one of the best they've done.
Yeah, I do like I like the comic series too. I don't really buy them. I have Grimlock because I have like a G1 Grimlock, and then I have a Studio series Grimlock, and then I have the Grimlock Magic the Gathering card from HasCon. But they look. I'm excited for that. Anything that's Studio series tends to be pretty good.
Yeah, and you know what? Again, we have silently slept on them, but we won't be doing that anymore. You'll be hearing more of the Transformer discussions as we go, because I can tell you, like I said, they're doing a great job, and we've underestimated them for the job.
I guess some might say they've been more than meets the eye.
And that's not even talking about the third party companies that are out there that are doing just amazing stuff.
Yeah, we definitely got that in. Well, Gentlemen, like I said, we like to get into the points of that, but I got to
Oh, the Furby one. I remember Furby Christmas.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Or Talkie Tickle Me Elmo.
Tickle Me Elmo. I remember I had to drive all the way down to San Diego for my nephew that wanted one of those, and there was a fight that started at Toys R Us then. So, yeah, wow, it's like
Man, that didn't
fighting in
turn
the
out too
toilet.
well, huh?
Well, it turned out well for me. I got Tickle Me Elmo. I don't know who else. I don't know what happened to other people, but
Well, I'm
it
just
worked
saying,
out.
over time, Tickle Me Elmo didn't turn out too well.
Oh no. Yeah, it didn't work. It's something tickled him completely wrong. But
Yeah.
that's the whole other discussion that we need to get into. Hey, if you don't know,
Now
you
you
haven't heard
know.
about this, we've been talking about a couple of things over the last couple of weeks, and
Mhm.
it's been action figure frequencies over on Bandito Radio. Well, you know what? Let me just, instead of talking, let's just show you.
Incoming transmission.
There's a new show headed to Bandito Radio. Action Figure Frequencies with your hosts, Chet Maddox and Alexander Storm. All the talk on action figures you crave. Only on 112 FM Bandito Radio.
That is right. Action Figure Frequencies episode 1 is over there currently. Now there's a couple of places that you can do that from: Podbean, iHeartRadio, Spotify, on YouTube, or well over on the Bandito Radio Odd Frog Entertainment web YouTube channel. You can actually find that over there. Episode 2 will be jumping on in the next couple of days. We're going to talk about a couple of things on episode 2 that's very interesting. So if you haven't listened, you might. Power Rangers. What the hell happened to them? What happened to that toy line and the dominance it used to have? And something that we're carrying over from here to there is the joy of collecting. Don't let people take your joy, but listen to our show over there. That should be up sometime later in the week. Another block that's going over there. Plus, there's also great shows on there. There's Myra's Morgue of Midnight Madness. That's absolutely fantastic. There's also, just the old time radio shows, and it's a great thing. It's made for toy enthusiasts,
As
and
well as
it's
some
100%.
awesome music.
Yeah.
Some of the music I listen to it pretty regularly now when I'm working on the toys back here. Bandito's it's up there. It's pretty much going. I'm jumping between that and podcasts.
There you go. And Deadman Juan did actually point that out, which is a good point tonight. And yes, on March 5th will be the Night of Reckoning. It will be the Tomb, and it will be Toy Box Chronicles. So the Skeleton Tomb over on the YouTube channel. If you're not actually subscribed over there, please go over there and subscribe to those guys. Scully, Deadman Juan, fantastic show. On March the 5th, it will be 2 hours of we will be on their channel, and then for the last hour they will be over on ours, and we're looking forward to that because again, those are great guys over there. So again, action figure frequencies, you should be checking it out. Actually, a toy customizer supreme himself, Richard, has said that he's using it. So if you're into toy photography, just collecting, whatever it is, go over to action figure frequencies, listen to that. Check out Bandito Radio. Listen to the music because there was some really good music on it. So they got you 24/7 for all your toy needs, and they've got you. And then, if you don't know, Richard has a shop, kscollectibles.com. Make sure you go over there and check out the stuff from the Toy Master himself that's selling that. And then when you get tired of that, go over to eBay and check out Dr. Brentley's Collectibles. That's right, Dr. Brentley is actually scouring tombs all over toy fandom for the best items up there. And then Chet Maddox and Rad are just killing it or whatnot. And I'm just sitting here doing not a damn thing, actually.
Alex is on not.
Not a damn thing. I'll just let these guys have fun, but I'm ultimate hype man and everything. So.
I need to get Chet over here to get my whatnot kicked off too.
Whatever you want.
We do. Yes, we do. And
thank God for major corporations. I now have a lot of free time.
And also, just to let you know, Richard and I, we try to, all the things to do because Richard's a busy person and damn straight, like I said. But the Tribunal, G.I. Joe Collectors Podcast, look for the channel. That's going to be coming soon. So, all your G.I. Joe needs, whether good or bad, you can catch us over there. Chet, like it's in your capable hands as always, my friends.
Well, we want to thank everybody for showing up and hanging out, all 150,000 of you. Patty Atkins, great show as usual. Yes, it is. We can't deny it, but we are the best damn podcast to exist. The best podcast. That is why our title is America's Toy Podcast. We want to thank you all for coming and hanging out because we know you enjoyed it because we're epic. Okay. Also, it's just pure sex appeal that happens on this podcast. Meeks, Bandito Radio for the win. That is correct. Also, starting soon, you're going to be able to see Meeks' beautiful face on Joystick Junkies. We've been doing some retooling, some figuring out on that. We're excited to bring that out for all of you video game nerds out there. But hey, as always, CS, the director, thank you for stopping by. We enjoy having you here. Great interactions, had a lot of really good points, and that's what we like. For those of you that haven't done it, you can subscribe. You can join our Discord. The links are live on the YouTube channel. As always, YouTube is our main focus, but you can find us on Rumble, X, soon to be TikTok, Instagram Live. We're everywhere you can think of. We enjoy you watching us while we just enjoy ourselves talking about stuff. So until next time, keep chasing that plastic dragon and don't tell your spouse because they won't be your spouse.